There's gonna be a few fuck ups. This chat software is all fucked up today. Wonderful. Das Boot is the best war movie from the German perspective that I've seen. Uh, yeah, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, Chuck Norris died today. People were telling Chuck Norris jokes in honor of once Chuck Norris pissed in a truck as a joke, and that truck became Optimus Prime. Chuck Norris didn't die, or Chuck Norris died because he was bored that there was no one left to fight on this plane of existence, so he went to another one. I never cared about Chuck Norris, honestly. Aside from millennial shit. Oh, Chris Surface, apparently you also heard the Meteor impact in Ohio, because I think it was on Sunday or something. There was a meteor that landed in Ohio, and we actually heard the explosion out here. I didn't hear it. I was actually, Peter Shanksman sent me a new graphics card and he bought me Metro Exodus to play. I was installing the new graphics card he sent me, so I didn't hear the explosion, but my dad ran in and said that he asked me if I heard something explode, and I did not, but apparently it was a meteor. The next state over.
You heard a meteor explode?
Yeah, there was an explosion that some people heard. I didn't hear it because I was installing a graphics card that... Oh, El Mosquito needs permission. Hang on. There we go.
But you said your dad heard it?
Yeah, there was a loud explosion, and we were just kind of confused by it. I assumed that, like, there was some car backfiring or something, but apparently it was the next state over. A meteor impacted somewhere there.
Meteor.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was earlier this week. Chris Surfass also heard it, even though he lives in Missouri, apparently.
No, I didn't hear nothing in my state. How's life been, Bucko?
I mean, sucks, but relatively comfortable.
It's about the same for me.
You're just surviving, wage cocking.
Yeah, I'm just getting by, you know. The hours increase, but the pay lessens.
Yeah, that's all I hear. It's just gradually, slowly getting worse, but in such a manner that nobody will do shit about it. Gas is what? $6 a gallon or something?
I know when I was last at a gas station, diesel was $4 a gallon. So yeah, my state gas probably like $3.30 around that.
Because my dad plays Fox News constantly, like, I was making spaghetti, and I was hearing Ted Cruz saying that what was it? How did he put it? Like, all these influencers spreading hate about Israel are paid off by Qatar. What was it? Anti-Semitism leads to anti-capitalism and Marxism, and we have to do something before we lose our country.
The country's already been lost. Like, if there even was a country called America, it's just an economic zone.
Well, they don't want to lose Israel's clutches on it.
It's just
What did you talk to MGTOW Cowboy on that last Wolf stream?
I called in for like 10 seconds just to say, like, have you considered owning nothing? But I have yet to really, like, actually talk to him. I just want to, like, blood sport him. But I heard his conversation that you and Dismal had with him, and then I heard him on the stream after that I was on.
Yeah, I was there when you called in. I saw you on... Wolf did another stream after that. I saw you in his voice chat with MGTOW there briefly.
MGTOW was never there when, like, I hopped into that stream.
He's talking you, bro.
He hopped at the chat when I got off of work.
He's talking you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got, like, the Mossad agents like, oh, Celtic cat's getting off work, you better get out the stream, bucko.
I don't know, it's just pretty interesting to see somebody that's so optimistic about, like, blue-collar work, like, which is known for being so demoralizing, and...
You're giving it... You're giving it
have
more
you guys
thought
heard
than he is.
Have you guys heard of the YouTuber Dapper Dev?
Don't believe I have.
No.
He's also kind of pro blue collar work. He's got a pretty big channel now. I think he's at like 50K. When I first found him, he only had like 2 or 3K.
I guess MGTOW Cowboys, his main argument was like, well, you're allowed to be masculine when you're doing like blue collar work. It's like, I don't get what value masculinity, like the way in which blue collar work is masculine is you have like idiots and assholes and ex-cons like yelling at you, calling you names. Like, that's not the kind of environment that I want to be in, to be quite frank.
Well, what's the... He's stuck in the past, as we said repeatedly, as I directly told him that he said that he started driving trucks 10 years ago, which is exactly when his mind stopped progressing. He's still stuck, like, he kept getting asked questions, and at one point he started telling like attack helicopter jokes and talking about drones and communists. Like, whenever
on stream, he's like, "Hey guys, like I don't want to come off as racist." It's like, dude, do you know where you're at? And you talk to everybody like they're 5 years old.
Do you guys know who Adolf Hitler is?
You guys know who Andrew Tate is? Anybody?
There's this thing that like Nietzsche wrote called the will to power. You guys ever heard?
No. He didn't. He doesn't know who Nietzsche is. He thought Hitler said that. He thought Hitler came up with that.
Oh yeah.
Like he has.
Like, yeah, there's like a MGTOW manifesto. I know the ideas of it, but I never read it.
I don't know. Like, you kind of take MGTOW like a religion, or like the Communist Manifesto. Like, there's a doctrine of MGTOW. There's like papers. It's like prescriptions you have to adhere to. Like, and there's different like factions. There's like Sunnis and Shiites. Like, I don't know. It was that intense of a worldview.
Just a fat Guatemalan.
Oh. He said he wants to be on Thomas White, so that'd be interesting to see.
If I'm on Thomas White and he calls in, I'm crashing out.
I was just I've been on 2 streams with him, and 2 was too much. I had to explode on him at least once.
Yeah. Didn't catch that part yet. I watched like half of the stream.
It was like around the beginning. I pretty much just told him everything that was wrong with him, and I told him everyone thinks he's a retard, and he's not helping himself. I was like, it's just like, it's a 42-year-old moron who, he doesn't have a coherent worldview. He calls himself a Roman Catholic, but he also interprets the Bible like antithesis to Catholicism. And he interprets the Bible with materialism, that God wants us to reconcile with science so that we can become immortal like he wants us to be.
Doesn't he basically advocate getting as rich as possible and having sex with prostitutes? Like,
it's musky and right wings soy cock scientism.
He's Catholic in name only. And fucking 300-pound trucker.
He couldn't even explain anything about Catholicism. That's what I was telling Dismal whenever he left. I was explaining that you're not talking to an ideology. You're talking to like an animal. You're talking to a retard. You're talking to somebody that just has a bunch of regurgitations that feel good when he blurts them out.
Yeah, it was just making me so mad that he was just talking to everybody like they're fucking first graders.
Yeah, and his plan, did you know his master plan? It's obviously to vampirically leech off of at least 3 rentoids. And then
that's like every American. That's the real American dream. It's like to become like a rent seeker, like be a capitalist parasite. Like,
And also, he wants to father a child with a prostitute. And he's
Bro.
42 years old, so whenever that happens, maybe 45, and he'll have probably an autism baby that's partly raised by a whore.
that nigga's gonna be an autistic incel who's gonna listen to our streams.
And the funny thing is that he was talking to Collective Dismal, who already reproduced, and was trying to explain to him to think these things through more and, strive for more spiritual goals.
Yeah, he was rejecting the idea that you should just be an ascetic and just like.
He didn't even know what that word was, mind you.
It almost like. It's almost like Dismal was more
Yeah,
MGTOW.
he was like, aesthetic? What do you mean by aesthetic? It's
No,
like aesthetic.
you see, that word came into this whole subculture within the last 10 years, so he didn't get the update on that.
And dude, Dismal was advocating a more principled MGTOW position than he was. Like, this guy's like getting attached to prostitutes. Like, he almost acted like his prostitute. The prostitutes he visited were almost like his semi-girlfriend. Like, that doesn't seem MGTOW to me, to be honest.
Yeah, he thinks that banging a prostitute is like the greatest achievement that a man can have. And
Yeah.
he couldn't even fathom that he was talking to a bunch of people that basically actually went their own way and are turning their backs on society, where the goal is to basically live on the computer or read books or do hobbies as much as possible and stay out of the wage gauge.
Yeah, trying to get rich, that's being a member of the participant in the rat race. It's like joining the rat race, taking steroids so you can be like faster. It's like,
Plus, it's not that like you can't make money and succeed, it's just that to what end? Why are you doing it? And he couldn't grasp, if 50 million more people in the world were doing what you're saying to do, what would be different? If everybody was just a money-chasing materialistic retard that doesn't really connect all these dots together and think these ideas through, and if everybody was just, their entire goal was to buy up property and leech from each other, because that's already the norm. All Americans, the reason more Americans aren't doing it is because they're poor. It's because they're the ones getting leeched from, and it's keeping the whole wheel of pain going.
yeah, the American dream is just to become successful enough to be an exploiter and not the exploited. Like, I mean, even the capitalists, they want to be just do whatever they want and be lazy just like everyone else, but they just...
Why do they want to avoid wage slavery? Why don't they just want to work at Walmart or be an HVAC technician? I wonder if it sucks and should be avoided, and they're just trying to trick us into doing it.
Yeah. I don't know. Being a truck driver also just seems pretty unpleasant. Like a CDL, like...
He literally stopped truck driving because it started sucking and they started imposing more surveillance on him.
So is he like a boss of truck drivers now or something?
No, he's just a truck driver
Oh,
with like a bunch of licenses and certifications.
oh, I see.
Yeah, everybody wants to be the leech while you are is just the body the plague doctor's sticking them on.
Dude, I bet that like all these people, a lot of people like advocate people like joining the trades. A lot of these people wouldn't have their own kids join the trades. It's just something for other people to do. Like if this guy has a kid, I'm skeptical if he's gonna encourage his kid to become a truck driver. be honest. Like, it's something that you advocate other people's kids to do. It's like, it's not something that like you want your own kids to do in most cases.
And I mean, trucking's gonna be in a way worse place in 20 years.
Well, even if you're a white guy, like they're not gonna give the trucking job to you. Like, I know in Canada they say it's mainly Jeeps doing it, but here in the south of my area, I mainly see Jamaicans or truckers.
Yeah, you see them, getting free trucking school, if even that, if they don't just get put behind the wheel.
There's been like multiple stories of like Pajeets like getting in accidents. Remember that video that came out last year of that Indian who tried to do like a U-turn in the middle of the highway?
And decapitated that family.
Yeah. Anytime I'm driving behind a truck on the like I get scared as fuck now, to be honest. Like on the highway, because like I don't know how they're teaching these people to like. I know they technically have to pass like a test or something, but it's clearly not thorough enough.
And yeah, it's just part of the that's just one part of the whole inshitification of everything. Like whatever native citizen truckers there are left, they're going to be severely underpaid. They're going to have GPS tracking. You're going to have like a camera monitoring you constantly, so if you ever like glance at your phone or do whatever arbitrary thing that they don't like you get fired instantly because you don't matter. They could just replace you. If you want health benefits, you can just get fired because they have all the leverage and you're fucked. It's not even just trucking. Any company that has company trucks, like working in a power company, they also do the same thing. It's just amazingly, it's all just gonna get worse, and the normie cattle won't do shit about it. Still.
Also, like, if you want people to like have a political impact, if you care about politics at all, like, you don't advocate that young men go into trades. Like, you're not gonna have any political influence if everyone just becomes like a blue collar worker. Like, if anything, like, I'm not saying like it's possible to change the system from within. If you had like any hope at all, you would encourage people to be like judges and lawyers. You wouldn't encourage people to just become like truck drivers. If you have like dissident politics or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that's a good strategy either. I'm not saying like having people try to become like elites is gonna work either, but I don't know, probably gonna have a better chance at changing political outcomes.
And like what politics do most people even have? The people that become judges, and even if it's a quote right wing unquote judge, it's just going to be some grifter that's corrupting society and undermining everything anyway.
Yeah, just Zionism, bro.
Right,
like the judge in my county, like he's just like a crooked businessman where he just uses his authority as a judge to get his way in business dealings in the county.
I mean, it's blatantly what's happening.
And then he's like, oh, you're like a pedophile or like a homie. Well, I guess I'll just give you like 3 months in jail. Meanwhile, you're some like white guy who stole a pack of gum from a store. He's like, life! He hits that stupid little hammer on the table.
The whole point of the Republican Party is just to be a vehicle for Zionist interests. Like, the White House told Trump's White House told like GOP politicians to stop talking about mass deportations. All they care about is the Iran war. Like, that's the whole point. Like, we're not getting anything favorable to dissidents. Like, anybody in the dissident right who thought that Trump was going to like do a bunch of things to benefit them are like clearly foolish.
Well, the average person, like, they don't have any politics beyond seeking shekels so they can leech off other people and abuse people.
Well,
That's the only politics that exists in the West.
yep, it's a free for all of thieves. Like, there's liberalism versus conservatism. Basically, the only difference is that conservatism, I guess, it is more privy to cutting taxes or lowering taxes, cutting social programs, increasing spending in some other way, and then mainly using Zog-approved racism. Like they'll fearmonger, yeah, your housing costs, those are high because of Mexicans or Somalians or whatever. It's not because everybody's on the MGTOW cowboy grind, where everybody wants to buy up property to leech from wage cucks.
I mean, they kind of want you to go MGTOW. They want you to go the MGTOW cowboy way. Just focus on getting your money up. Don't care about anything else. Like,
Well, once you treat land as this commodity that you use to make money, it just innately creates a serf class in society. Like, it'd be more honest and better if we were just feudalistic again, like in medieval Europe.
I mean, what happens to property prices if 50 million people are all buying up property as investments and to collect free money from renters?
Which that was like the main thing the boomers did, is they just used it as just basically a hedge fund for their future. It wasn't this thing you bought to raise a family or whatever.
Yeah, and partly because they're destroying the economy. So you need investments to keep your money, and property is one of those investments. So because of them, it creates. They create a new problem to solve another problem.
dude,
Solving
Trump himself even said explicitly that he doesn't want to like lower housing prices because it's gonna hurt like his primary voting base, which is obviously the boomers. He nakedly said that.
Yeah, like that, and they're gonna artificially do it too. They're gonna artificially keep these prices up, even if wage cucks gotta work an extra 20 hours a week.
I mean, if these like elites like Musk are saying we need to have like increased birth rates, like you can't do that if it's impossible to buy a house. Like people don't want to have kids in their parents' house. Like
People don't want their kids to be fucking slaves that just live in hell.
yeah,
Like, what's the point? It's not really motivating. First of all, people can't afford it. Second of all, for what end? To produce more slaves for a bunch of rich pedophiles.
I know, it's odd where you see like some of these libertarians though, where they try to address the issues of capitalism. They'll call it crony capitalism, where they're anti-corporation, anti-central bank, but still want this like individualistic free market.
They
And I'm
exist.
not sure if that idea could ever really come to fruition.
They're literally just there to divert blame away from the capitalists. So they say, see, it's the government's fault that capitalists are corrupting society. Capitalists are working with the government, therefore that's the government's fault. Capitalists are just innocent victims, free of all guilt, who never work with the government. Those cronies, those are all communists. Elon Musk is a communist. Well, they like him, like, because he's gonna make us all immortal with his based Pepe memes.
You see Elon Musk saying that, like, oh, don't save for retirement because AI is gonna make us all rich. Then, like, the next coming like few years, like this AI like hype is very suspicious. He's
All the AI is going to be used is AI is only going to be used to spy on you more efficiently, whether that's the state doing that, or your workplace, corporations trying to sell you products. Well, products, slop.
like I think
That's all it's going to be used for.
I mean like AI is like Palantir is used basically for Zog in terms of its utility in striking like people, like identifying targets in Iran and missile striking them. It's literally like almost like a governmental agency like Palantir. Speaking of corporatism, like it's literally in bed with the U.S. government, and it's being used to just wage war on behalf of Zog.
It's also mostly just a scam. I mean, it's all just marketing hype. It's like space programs for the most part. It's just you just casually just tell lies, and the idiot masses are retarded because they're like, "Oh, rich guy said thing. That means it's true."
Yeah,
Oh,
see this
sci-fi.
the guy whose company is about to go public, and so therefore he wants to like sell the stock as much as possible to increase the hype. He's saying that it's going to replace all jobs within 3 years. Like that's definitely what's going to happen, guys.
Ooh, Neil Armstrong crashes out whenever somebody asks him to swear that he landed on the moon. Therefore, he must land on the moon. No, I mean Buzz Aldrin. Did I say Neil Armstrong?
I think you said yeah.
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin like crashes out all the
I think he
time.
punched some guy in the face. I saw some
Yeah.
video. Yeah.
Like some guy like was like, "Would you put your hand on the Bible and swear you landed on the moon?" And he just raged out.
I got. It wouldn't surprise me if it was faked. I mean, space is a scam either fucking way. We need to, aside from satellites, it's time to give up on it. It was a lie. Just because sci-fi says things doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's possible.
But
I mean,
wormholes or something.
I think that even if we could live on Mars, I think it would just be prohibitively expensive because like you have to pay so much just to get resources to the planet. It would take so long. Like you'd have to like set up an artificial environment which you can farm in. It just seems like I don't know. Seems like quite an expensive, unworthwhile endeavor.
Well, I mean, it was full of shit because it's not happening. They gave up on it, and yeah. If Elon Musk, do you want to live in like a space facility built by Elon Musk, filled with surveillance and Indians?
Given the way he runs Twitter, fuck no.
And you gotta wake up in your cramped radioactive bunker and praise Israel.
Yeah, I could not do that.
Did you see Chuck Norris died, Dags?
Yeah, I was talking about that at the beginning.
Oh.
There's not much to say about it. People were just telling Chuck Norris jokes. Nobody really
Probably
watched
should
his
review
movies.
I was thinking like you probably should have reviewed like a Chuck Norris movie tomorrow, but I would do Dolores Claiborne like we planned 2 weeks ago.
I mean, he doesn't have good movies. Honestly, they're boring. I don't know any millennials and anybody younger that actually cares about Chuck Norris
I think
movies.
the only movie I saw him in that I liked as a kid was like one of the Expendable movies. I think it was Expendables 2. But it's probably more like a Gen X thing. Like maybe Thomas White feels worse about it. Maybe he watched Walker, Texas Ranger or something growing up. Or I've seen like that clip from that one Kung Fu movie where he fought Bruce Lee.
Yeah, people have seen those clips and talk about them, but I haven't watched them. I think few people have watched them. It's just I actually don't like when there's these people getting this Steven Seagal treatment where they're framed as like an ultimate badass, and it's like, oh my god, it's a movie with Jet Li in it. That dude's so badass. I want to watch this movie because Jet Li's so cool.
You gonna find the Chuck Norris memes funny?
No, that's ironic. It's ironic. Funny.
Yeah.
I think the only Jet Li movie I've seen is Ip Man.
I watched a couple Jet Li movies, and I played Jet Li Rise to Honor for the PlayStation 2, and I can tell you, I mean, they kind of suck.
I remember there was like that really mid-ass John Woo video game. It was called like Stranglehold or something like that. It was kind of like a Max Payne clone. Speaking of Max Payne, I replayed through Max Payne 3 for the first time since like 2012, 13. I felt the game was still enjoyable.
I never got into Max Payne, but I know of it and played similar games. You know, obviously like the Matrix games.
I think I had entered the Matrix on the original Xbox.
Yeah, that and Path of Neo. I tried replaying Path of Neo, and it's apparently fucking terrible.
Oh.
Like, I remember it being really awesome, and I was playing it just... Maybe it was the emulator I was using, but every time I would run up to just punch a random cop, and Neo would just get stunned over and over, and then the cop would just start nailing my face in. I would be watching Neo get his ass handed to him by rent-a-cops. I'm like, this is fucking shit. What happened?
Probably my favorite movie video game. It's probably the King Kong game from 2005 I had on the PS2. There's not that many good movie games.
No, not really.
You know, like the only game based on a book I can think of is the Metro games.
No, they're like little kid movies, but I heard the Sonic movies were actually kind of good. I didn't watch them, but I've just heard that they're all right.
Like the old animated ones.
The new ones, honestly, even the new ones, I heard they're actually kind of decent.
I haven't seen them, but I guess the Sonic franchise is doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
Then again, like, that could just be the average Sonic fan saying that.
It's also true. That's a good
I
point.
mean, Shadow the Hedgehog The 3D Sonic generally fucking sucks. They're honestly not even really fun to play. Shadow the Hedgehog was a pretty based game. That's such an insane idea.
Shadow the Hedgehog is a great example of like peak early 2000s Edge.
Yeah, that's such a crazy pitch. You have to realize how hard it is to really pitch a game for one of the mascot's side characters, because Sonic's the draw, but Shadow was apparently cool enough to have an entire game about him, and they made him have a gun and run around blasting cops and shit, and like that's actually awesome.
Shadow's just kind of one of those characters that is kind of like Boba Fett from Star Wars, where they didn't really appear much, but they get loved by the fans because they have some like edgy aesthetic to them. Same thing like Ghosts from Modern Warfare 2. Probably because Ghosts had the skull mask and it looked cool.
Yeah, there's apparently a bunch of sex bots that are programmed to talk like him somehow. Like there's
Like Ghost.
yeah, like sex chat bots, like erotic chat bots. Those apparently are popular, and I was just thinking, like, what is that even really a character?
Well, in the original Modern Warfare 2, I think he only had like 5 or 6 lines. Like he was about as prominent as like Gaz was in the first Modern Warfare. Or it's just like a prominent side character.
It's like not even. It's not even really a character. You just have like a chat bot doing the basic. Like I'm a military guy that's kind of rough around the edges.
And I wear a cool skull mask.
I adjust my skull mask before pulling out my boner or something like that.
Yeah. And shoot you with a grenade launcher, really.
I shoot you in the ass with a grenade.
Yeah, he had one-man army on. In Call of Duty, I kind of just stopped caring about Call of Duty. Really with Black Ops 2. Even Black Ops 2 to me was pretty mid.
Are they still making new games every year, or do they like take a pause on that?
I think they're still making them every year because Black Ops 6 came out in like November. I mean, yeah, it's like Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, wherever they're on.
Right.
Apparently, it's like the worst performing COD of all time now.
Heard like the campaign was super corny, and there was like AI slop in the game.
It ended with like a skibbity toilet fight. Like it just looked like a YouTube reel boss fight where it was just generic, like a big giant enemy head with like he's got a big wide open weird face with glowing eyes, and like yeah, this Call of Duty's clearly dead.
My favorite
Do you have some
Call of
nostalgia
Duty, though,
for
was World at War.
Yeah, because it tried to be, brutal about war, which that's, try to be dark and realistic about how you depict war, and it's actually better than just making a Steven Seagal movie game.
Yeah, it was between that and the first Black Ops that I played the most.
Yeah, I do have a lot of positive nostalgia regarding COD, because I just remember like playing at my friend's house till like 3 in the morning when I was like 12. Just Black Ops 2, but
Black Ops
World
2
at
was the
War,
only COD I
just-
ever played, I think.
you like it?
I had that one it was alright. I wasn't into it for long though. I got more into Battlefield 4 after that. And I preferred Battlefield. It was a little more I always kind of liked the sniping in games, and the Call of Duty maps were too small for like
Yeah.
sniping to feel satisfying to me.
Yeah, World at War, I played the campaign probably the most. On Black Ops 1, I played zombies a lot.
Yeah,
this is-
Call of Duty was always like the most like normie first person shooter game, kind of like all the games
Well,
are like too repetitive too.
well, before COD, it was Halo, and then before Halo, it was Medal of Honor.
Halo became dog shit when 343 took over from Bungie in terms of development.
I used to play Halo 4 as a kid a lot.
Actually,
And I know that's
actually,
like a
Dog shit one.
honestly, dude, Halo 4 is actually my first Halo as well. I went back and played the Bungie games and realized they were like way better.
yeah. I liked Halo 3 more, and I also played Combat Evolved. I never got into Halo 2, and that's the one that like a lot of people think is like the best.
I think
But I
it's
kind of
good.
just
You
yeah.
should play it.
I was more of like a Combat Evolved and like Halo 3 kind of guy, but I started with Halo 4.
Yeah, my first one was Halo 3, and I probably played Reach the most.
I think Halo 3 was the only one that I beat. No, I beat Halo 4 too, actually.
You have to beat them all on Legendary. You have to do them
I've
all on
beaten the
Legendary.
campaigns on all the Bungie ones, and then Halo 4.
Yeah, I beat them all on Legendary. It's pretty fun.
I even
Are we on
played the
Dag
first
stream right
Halo.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also liked Halo Wars, although it's basically Command and Conquer 3, but Halo. Although I like the Command and Conquer games.
Okay, this is really random, but do you guys ever play Skylanders as a kid or no?
I did.
Yeah, I thought they were kind of cool.
I was
Wasn't
big
that
into the very
where you had,
first Skylanders.
Wasn't Skylanders that game where you had like the little action figure things?
You had to buy
could plug
toys,
them?
bro. Yeah, you had to buy toys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
that game was
you'd
kind of
plug
like a
them in thing to play
scam.
that
Yeah.
character.
To be honest, like that game was like one of the it was a big like microtransaction game basically, but the microtransactions were like in real life figures that you'd buy and like they'd become like game characters, but it was kind of cool in a way. At least when I was a kid, it was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was neat, man.
My friends were into that when I was like 9 or 10, and that got me into it. I played it for like a year or so, quite frequently.
I just know, I remember when I saw that came out when I was a kid, like, I wasn't even enthralled by it as a game, but like it was garbage, and I thought it was so gay you had to buy these fucking toys to play the character in the game.
Yeah, you realized it was
You
a
were
scam.
Like,
You were a
even
bit
as
older at
kid.
the time, though.
I think when Skylanders came out, like, when did it come out? Like 2012, 2013?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, I've been like 12 or 13 years old then.
I was a bit younger.
Yeah, I saw that game at Walmart. I saw the little action figure thing, and now I see Zoomers and Gen Alpha talk about nostalgia for it, and I just assume it's. I know they had Spyro the Dragon, and he looked like shit.
I know, I remember my parents wouldn't let me play rated M games, or especially my mom. And I had internet at my mom's house, not my dad's. So I remember my dad, like, he'd like give me like an allowance for doing stuff to help him out, and have him take me to the store, and I buy those like prepaid like cards you can use on your Xbox Marketplace, and I'll just go buy stuff like GTA 4, the newer Splinter Cell games, because I always loved Splinter Cell as a kid, and because I knew they wouldn't get it for me. So I had to like sneak download them with these prepaid cards.
Yeah, set my own ways as millennials were probably the first hyper-consumerist generation, constantly begging parents for games and toys. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely doing that. Like, I mean, everything sucked except for the fact that I had unlimited video games, pretty much.
Yeah, like I would always. My dad would take me to GameStop like once a week, and I'd get like a couple PS2 games, and then got rid of the
PS2 was
games.
peak video game culture, in my opinion. There's so many classics from PS2 that I just fell in love with. Now the
That
good
was the
thing is,
first.
go on. Sorry
I
for
was just gonna say that was the first console I ever played on. It was the first one I ever owned.
It
Technically,
is
I
also
played.
it's my first that I owned as well, if you don't include a Game Boy Advance. But
Yeah,
yeah,
my neighbor, one of them owned a PlayStation 1, and I used to play that when I was like 4, but I don't really have memories of it
I
besides
played
that I played
I
it.
played Nintendo 64 with this one Hoppa kid that I was in 5th grade with, but that's about it until I got
Remember,
a PS2 in 6th grade.
I think the first ever game console I played was on. My dad still has his old NES they got in like the 70s or early 80s, whatever. And I'd play like Mario, Duck Hunt, and there was like a dirt bike game on there I would play. And then my first console was well, technically like a Game Boy Advance, but then it was a PS2.
Yeah, I remember like I don't really remember playing it, but I vaguely remember like some of the screens that you see in like Symphony of the Night. Like I think it was actually my sisters that were playing it and I was just watching when I was like 4 or like early 5 cuz my neighbor would bring the PS1 over. And there was some other like 3D game, like I think it was like some kind of like 007 game on the PS1 or something. But I don't have like I just vaguely remember it was like a 3D like spy game or something.
Like Splinter Cell?
GoldenEye.
Something it might have been Splinter Cell actually, yeah.
No, Splinter Cell was never on the PS1. Might have been
Are you
Cyberstream.
sure? I think I vaguely remember Splinter Cell being on the PS1, actually. I think I owned
No,
a
the first
copy of
Splinter
Splinter
Cell
Cell.
came out in like 05. It was on the PS2.
Maybe I'm
Original
thinking about a
Xbox.
different game. Maybe it's
I think
Splinter
Siphon Filter.
That's
was-
what I was
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, that is what I'm playing. Okay, you're
Because that was
jamming my
kind of
memory.
like Splinter Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Now Metal Gear Solid 1, that was on the PS1.
I don't know much about Splinter Cell and shit. My first game console was probably Sega Genesis or something. And then obviously PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, and PS2, GameCube, pretty much like a lot of them.
You had a Dreamcast?
I think I rented one.
I was gonna say, you'd be the only person I'd know that owned a Dreamcast.
I believe I rented it from the video store, but I did play it for a short period. At least enough to play Sonic Adventure.
I had a
I never,
friend of mine, he owned a GameCube, I remember.
GameCubes were cool.
Playing GameCube.
Like Mario
GameCube's had a lot
Sunshine
of
was
good
great.
games. Like the one thing I want to play on GameCube that I never played before was Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, or what was it called?
We would play the original Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 4, and Paper Mario. I'm playing those.
Paper Mario was good. I played that. I think I played the Wii one though.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was basically the same as the GameCube one.
Yeah, that first came out on the 64, right?
No, I think it first came on the GameCube. Paper Mario.
Huh.
Yeah, I did have a Wii growing up though.
Yeah, everyone went crazy about that Wii. I never.
All I would play on it would be like Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
dude.
was a good one.
My parents want to buy me a Wii, but like my church youth group had like a Wii, And I remember like Wii Sports, like tennis was actually
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good, and
It
so
was
boxing.
good.
Tennis,
Yeah,
boxing, like
boxing was
yeah.
good.
Tennis
Yeah, I
was
used to
the
play
most
bowling
fun.
mostly. My family liked the bowling one, so we'd all play bowling together.
I remember I
Oh
had
yeah.
the Connect for the Xbox 360. That shitty
Oh
motion
yeah.
capture thing.
You know, I'm probably the
The
only person.
Connect.
Wolf's probably the only person who has even a shot of knowing what I'm talking about. Does anybody know what the PS2 iToy is?
Yes, I
I've
remember
heard of
that was
it.
kind of like it was like that little camera thing. It was like a motion, even worse motion sensor than
was
the Xbox
fucking-
Connect.
It was terrible, but I did play the shit out of it because that was a novel idea. It's
Yeah,
like it was
I
like,
had-
whoa, I'm on a camera, I'm like moving these balloons around and shit. I'm boxing a robot.
Wasn't there like a Rabbids game you could play with the iToy?
I didn't even touch any of those games, but I don't. You know what's funny? I actually before I got this new camera, I think I was using an iToy as a webcam. I don't. I'm pretty fucking sure. And
Do you still have an iToy laying around, dude?
I don't know what I did with it, but that was my camera before I moved on to this one.
Yeah, you're lucky you're not like streaming with that. The government would probably think that you're like an Iraqi jihadist or something.
Yeah, that's like
With
the
the-
most ghetto of ghetto webcam setups.
Chris
Could see like the resolution on your screen and like your setup with the ski mask, the like Middle Eastern mask thing you got going. They think that they like you're somebody they have to drone strike.
Well, the iToy is like the image of you on the screen was like 80p with like 5 frames per second.
Chris Chan would also use that as his webcam.
I didn't know
Not
you used
surprising.
the iToy as a webcam.
Like a long time ago, that was his first webcam. It was just. It was.
What's Chris Chan up to since I think is he out of prison now?
Father, I
He
think.
has a kid.
Yeah, he's a father.
Are you serious?
No, you're fucking with us.
No, he's a father, bro. I'm not lying.
No.
Where's the
He got a girl
evidence?
pregnant like 2 years ago, dude.
How? It couldn't have been Barb.
He
Because he's a fake cell, dude. Like,
famous.
yeah.
Like if everybody on the planet is aware of your existence and any single person can just walk into your life, you would
It's like
probably
that,
get laid if you had low standards.
Like that Swedish guy that made that video called like the reality of being ugly or something like that. Yeah, he got like some Colombian girl and they have a kid.
Nice.
I think Barb is dead now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that his mother you're talking about? Because he got arrested for
I
incest.
know. I know
His
Chris
mother had
Chan's dad.
Dementia or something.
Chris Chan's dad. If you look at his life, it's sort of like a Greek tragedy. Like, I think the dude
He was
like,
kind
in
of-
the military, and that he had like 4 kids with his wife, and like, I guess he was a piece of shit or something. They hated him. And he
Did the
decided he
autism
wanted-
come from him?
well, they were pretty old, but he decided he wanted to like try to raise a kid the right way, and then that kid being born was Chris Chan. It's like God punished him for all his previous sins in life by like giving him Chris Chan as a kid. Because like all Chris Chan's siblings like cut their dad off, and their parents, like they don't want to do anything with Chris Chan's parents. And that was like before Chris was born.
They were like giga hoarders too, I think. Like he used to film his house and it was like disgusting.
Yeah, it looked like a not a kept place. Like, you know, every place was just filled with a lot of just trash or junk, or it was like hard to walk through when he was doing those videos when he was living with his parents. Isn't there
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's a version of Virgin with Rage I really like on YouTube. It's like they call it like Nutwave and Squirrel Jacks in it.
I went on my first date with a black woman tonight.
Based. How
It
was
went
it?
well, honestly.
Awesome.
Like she's kind of like shy and introverted type, and we got along pretty well. Like we had a decent conversation. We talked for a few hours, and like I kissed her and stuff, and like we were cuddling a bit outside because we were waiting for like my mom like drove her home. We were waiting for my mom to show up, and she was like clinging on to me and stuff.
I hope you.
But yeah,
Go on.
she just like she's a Kenyan immigrant. She just came here like last
Based.
year. Like this was
Yeah.
her first.
The first
She
black-
speaks really good. She speaks really good English, actually. Like she has a little bit of an accent, but like all of her pronunciation is quite well. She works at like fast food at the moment, but she's going to college, and it's like a
Is she,
decent
in,
degree she's getting. but-
American black, or is she from Africa?
Africa. She's from Kenya.
Is she tall or was she?
Oh,
look
she's like 5'6".
Oh, not too tall.
I think East Africans, they look pretty different from like West Africans, and West Africans are like mainly composed African Americans in the US. I think they're phenotypically like they look more European. Like they
She
don't
was-
look European, but like in terms of like facial
Well,
bone
blacks
structure.
in America look more European because they have more European DNA.
I think
Yeah,
the
this one, she was talking about how like most of the blacks we get here in Canada are Nigerians, and there's like very few East Africans. At least in the city where I live, she said there was only like 7 of them or something.
doesn't Canada have a history of Jamaican immigrants?
Yeah, there's some Jamaicans here, but like most of the ones that we're getting right now are Nigerians actually. And she was
Yeah.
talking about how like she doesn't get along with Nigerians. Like she was saying how like they're culturally very different from like East Africans. Like and they have like she was saying she like lived with one and they like made really stinky like food from like dried fish or something.
Yeah.
And she was like she doesn't have any like African friends here because they're like all Nigerians and like they don't get like along with each other apparently. I don't really know why exactly, but
I guess it's like Japanese and Chinese people, they don't get along.
yeah, kind of. I don't think there's as much like historical animosity, but it's they're just culturally very different, I guess. And she's saying that she lives in an apartment with Indian women, and she was talking about like how messy the Indian women are. Like they all have like bed bugs, and like they don't even care to like get rid of them. Like they're like used to just like having bed bugs all over them in India, I guess.
Now,
It
Kind of
did make
shocking.
Yeah,
Africans are more
Indians
hygienic than
did not learn
Indians.
any
like-
lessons from being colonized by the white man.
Well, apparently Kenyans
Thank
are
you,
more
Mr.
like
White Man.
sanitary than
I'm not-
Indians.
well, no wonder Israel likes Indians so much.
Yeah, she was talking about how like she's kind of like shocked by how messy and like dirty they are, and how she wants to get out of there, but like she can't afford it at the moment from her like fast food job, and you know.
Well, it's like I remember the whole thing like showing how disgusting Indian street food is, and you had tribal Africans uploading like TikToks making fun of them.
Yeah. She was talking a lot about like the road conditions for some reason in Kenya. Like she was saying how like it was super dangerous to like drive in Kenya and there was like deadly accidents all the time. And she said like if you were a pedestrian that was like more dangerous because like cars didn't respect like pedestrian rights. So like you could like cross the street and they'd still be like driving around you all the time. And
Even
like
traffic
yeah.
laws in Kenya. Like I know a lot of countries don't even have traffic laws really. Like
I think of course they probably have some traffic laws, I'm guessing, but you know it's Kenya, so it's
I doubt
one of
Kenya
the-
has a thriving automotive industry.
Yeah, and also just like they're one of the more developed countries in Africa, but you know that doesn't mean like a lot.
Well, I figure like whatever Toyota pickups don't go to the Taliban probably goes to them.
Yeah, she was saying that like she actually has like 5 siblings, I think, and that's like the norm there, where like everyone has like half a dozen kids. And she said that there's a lot of like young people, like there's a lot of young people being born, and there's a lot of like old people dying because people die younger in Kenya. So they have a very different like population period to here. She grew up in like a rural area on like a farm, and that's why she says she's like a carnivore because like they would mostly like eat meat and stuff. I guess they had like animals on the farm or whatever,
Yeah, whipping up
and
that oxtail.
yeah, stuff like that. Like she mostly just ate animals growing up, so she says that she mostly eats like just meat products and like animal products, but.
I like the way Africans speak. They sound so funny to me.
She doesn't have that much of an accent. This one, it's she does, but it's like subtle.
Nice.
I guess she moved to Canada when she was young.
No. She just came here in the last year, but I guess she was speaking English in like Kenya for a while. I guess that like English is like a common language in Kenya.
Oh, is Kenya a British colony?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's like
in Africa, it's like they either speak English or French mainly.
well, the main language there is Swahili, but like English is like the secondary language.
Yeah,
So like
it's
a lot of
in,
people know it.
Well, it's like in India, like your average Jeep will probably know 4 languages, where there's like a local language, a regional language, and they all speak Hindu and English.
Yeah. My only like hold up about this woman is that like she's a single mom. She has an African kid in Kenya still.
That she left behind. I guess her family must be taking care of it.
Yeah, the family is taking care of her daughter. And she says eventually she wants to bring her over to Canada, but she wants to like have her own place and have like a career by then before they do that. She also said that she like wants like more kids in the future. So I guess like she wants like me to like get her preggers like some years down the line, I guess. But
Well, what's to stop her from like saving up a decent amount of money in Canada and then just taking it back to Kenya and living like a princess?
she says she does not want to go back to Kenya, and there's a variety of reasons for that, I guess. I didn't prod her too much about that, to be honest, but she does send like some money back home for like her daughter and stuff. But like she wants to live in like a more developed country.
So the baby daddy just left, or what's?
Well, yes, she basically said that she's been with like a few different guys. She's older than me. She's in her late 20s. The first couple guys, like it wasn't like a serious relationship. Like she was kind of finding herself, so to speak, when she was younger, and one of those guys got her pregnant, and she, abortion is not. They're a more Christian nation over in Africa, so that's not viewed kindly, and she did not consider that. And so yeah, she had this kid, and the guy went off, and there's no real way of getting like child support out of men in Africa, because there's no way to enforce that really. So yeah, she was just like supporting that kid, and her family were helping her. And she after that she got into a 5-year long distance relationship with another Kenyan dude who lived in like a faraway Kenyan city. that was like the opposite end of the country or something.
So wait, does she like have a kid then?
Yeah, she has a kid. It's just not here in Canada.
Oh, it's in Kenya.
Yeah, it's a black kid in Kenya.
Oh.
But
What are you messing with like used goods for then?
yeah, but you know, I like her well enough that I don't know if I want to just like break things off right away because of that. Like I might sort of just see where things go.
You're a little rascal.
I mean, I'm just going like you know about micro chimerism, right?
Yeah, you know, it's gonna, you know, it.
I'd be
Yeah, like if I
I'd be more worried about getting grifted for citizenship because that's happening a lot. And I have this one guy as a viewer, and he told me like he had like high hopes of getting married to this one foreign girl. I think he's also in Canada, and yeah, she was just using him for the citizenship. She tried to steal his money. He had to like stop her and her mother from draining his bank account. They were just trying to rob him.
yeah, of course I'd be like vigilant about that if it even gets to that stage. Yeah,
It
we've
just
only just been
sounds
on one
like
date, probably not, but.
sounds like a 90-day fiance type situation.
I was literally about to say that. We're like reading each other's minds.
It's like
Yeah, I'm not gonna like put a ring on this anytime soon.
like this guy
Anyway,
was
she
seeing this girl for like almost a year, and he thought it was a sure thing. So you just have to be wary.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. She was yeah. Anyway, her last relationship was this like long distance thing, and like she'd see him sometimes, but it was like a sporadic type of thing, and he wound up like he kept cheating on her. But he was kind of like a Chad, so she kept like forgiving him or something, and yeah, but like apparently he cheated on her again in like January. I think it was on Valentine's Day actually. She found out he cheated again, so then like she broke things off for good, and now she's on Tinder and dating me. Like she said that apparently this guy was like a neat too. Like she was like giving him money, like she was supporting him for like she said she started like a business for him because like to like fund him.
Started a business.
Yeah, she said like back in Kenya she started like a laundry business or something to like support this guy because he was like a neat in his 20s and like didn't have like a solid plan for the future. But he was, I guess he was like kind of like a Chad, like a Kenyan Chad.
What's she doing? Going down to the Nile River hoping a crocodile doesn't snatch her?
With a washboard.
No, I guess she was saying that's like kind of like the traditional way of washing clothes in her country. But like I guess she got enough money to like get the washing machine thing going, and that's like a rarity there. So it's like people would come for like the washing machine experience.
I mean, I guess I'd rather go to a laundromat than risk getting eaten by Nile crocodiles or hippos.
Yeah, she was talking about like the wildlife in her country and how there's like alligators and lions and hippos and giraffes and there's like safaris.
The local population.
What's that?
Oh, I was just wondering if these animals were fucking with the local population.
Oh, she said apparently sometimes they do if there's like a drought that happens, like the lions especially apparently do occasionally like venture into some of the cities, and they can be a problem and attack people sometimes, but like it's not a super common phenomena. They mostly stay in like the national parks.
Meanwhile, places like India, the tigers actively seek out Jeets.
Well, Jeets seek out Jeets. They predate on each other. It's a free-for-all. Even the animals are in on it. You ever see like monkeys like robbing people in the towns?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like monkeys have like roving gangs where they learn how humans behave, and they basically will predate on you just like the locals will.
Well, if they have a fruit stand and then a bunch of monkeys come in droves and take all the fruit from the fruit stand
Well, I
and
know
then
in
walk out with it.
Africa, like baboons will steal people's babies.
Dude, baboons are that's like that's like a scary animal to run into in the middle of the night. That's
I heard that chimpanzees have been stealing kids in some areas in Africa, like in like Uganda or something. I was watching a documentary about that actually, where there was like one chimp in particular started like eating people's kids, like sneaking into the village at night and like just pulling it out of like the crib because they live in these huts that don't have like doors, and it just like pulled the kid out and just like run back into the jungle with it, and it just like disappeared. And that was going on for like half a decade or something until they finally killed it, and then like the killing stopped.
I know baboons too. They've kind of figured out how to tame dogs.
monkeys are fucking big monkeys are scary as shit. That's not
Gorillas, orangutans.
like
Well,
they're
orangutan, I'm not really scared of. Like orangutans don't attack people.
sometimes they're like even just their face and plus the fact that they're intelligent and can pretty much get anywhere. That's like a dwarf fortress enemy.
Honestly, like I watch documentaries about evolution sometimes. The biggest ape that ever lived was the Gigantopithecus or some whatever it's pronounced, and it was like this giant orangutan, like
Well, it's
twice the size
basically
of a gorilla.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, it was basically
Oh,
like
Well,
Eddie
there
or
was a
Bigfoot.
bigger one. There was a mega ape that lived in Southeast Asia or something.
That's what I'm talking about.
The
I
thing,
think.
the one that was like 20 feet tall or something.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about because they mentioned it was in Indonesia.
Yeah, that's scary shit. And humans also exterminated them.
Really?
yeah. This is a bit unrelated, but I just wanted to say there was an interesting thing she said about like the area she lived in Kenya, where there was actually like an old white gentleman that lived not too far from her locality, and apparently like his parents died like before like the decolonization thing happened, and he was like stranded in Africa in Kenya, and he just like continued to live there as like a rancher, and he's like 90 now, and he's still there like in Kenya, like surrounded just like by like there's no other white people around. He's just like the one 90-year-old like white guy.
I mean,
Thank you, Mr. Whiteman, for bringing civilization to our great people.
it works
How may we
for
repay you?
it works for some people, but he could also just be randomly killed by a gang. That would be it.
Yeah, she was talking about how like he had a lot of security around his premises, and that like he
Well, it's
wasn't a
like in,
super nice guy, because probably there's been attempts like that before. And she
well, it's
says,
like in a lot of South America, these like white enclaves are basically like small military compounds. In terms of
yeah,
security.
yeah. Apparently he has like a lot of like attack dogs and stuff on his property. And that's like pretty common. Like apparently Africans do own dogs as pets, but like they only use them for like mainly the purpose of like intimidating people that would intrude on their property. So they get like big dogs to like scare people off, and they kind of treat them like shit. She said like it's not the same as like a white person that owns a dog. Um Interestingly, she also used to own apparently 8 cats when she lived in Kenya. I don't know. I didn't know that that was a common thing to own a bunch of cats as like an African person, but I guess that's something that
Well,
goes
cats are
on.
native to Africa, aren't they? Like they're
Well,
big in
North
nature.
Africa.
Yeah, but Kenya's kind of north, and so there's obviously overlap.
Well, north of the Sahara.
Still, I mean, cats going down there makes
But
sense.
I know I see like some stories and like images where like gang leaders or warlords in Africa will have pet hyenas and have them on chains like they're pit bulls.
I never knew
Hyenas are
hyenas
fucking
was-
weird, man. Hyenas, like the women, like the female hyenas have like vagina penises.
Some of them spotted hyenas.
How does that even work? I should probably like look on YouTube how that even works, because like what is like the male hyena genitals like? Is that they have like
It's it's just an external vagina that the male hyenas still put their dicks into. Like it's just a long tube, pretty much.
that's like wild.
Yeah, I mean, there's wild stuff with animals. It's also weird how mammals only mammals really have the sexual dimorphism of the larger male and the smaller female, while pretty much anything else aside from mammals, the female is larger.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
just like
see.
certain reptiles, the males may be bigger, like crocodiles.
Yeah, I heard something. I think I forget it was like on YouTube or 4chan or where, but there was some kind of species of bird somebody was talking about where it's actually it's kind of like the roles are like reversed, where like the females are kind of like the males in our species, and like the males are like the females compete for like the males in this like one specific bird species.
Wow. Cat, neat bird.
Yeah, I you could probably I'd
I
have
was
to
about
ask
to
like
say like
ChatGPT.
peacocks, but no, it's the peacock is the male that has the big tail feathers. And it's a
Ye-
peahen that's the female, and they're like this, like the female versions of peacocks. They're such like pitiful little creatures when you see them.
That's what humans are most like. It's the male peacocks having to do all the work, and the females are unremarkable and mid.
But it's like males are more dimorphic as a sex than foids are. Like there's less variety in like the foid physiognomy than the male.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. It says it. The most famous one is called the cuckoo species.
Oh, you're talking about cuckoo
This
bird where they just basically cuck other birds.
no, it's a cuck, but with an oo afterwards, and it
Yeah,
says the
cuckoo.
phenomenon is called sex role reversal, and it occurs in species where males invest more energy in raising the young, making the limited resources that females must compete for.
But like cuckoo birds, they'll lay their eggs in like other birds' nests, and the cuckoo bird will like hatch first and basically outcompete the other birds in the nest for food.
Yeah, it says females are larger and more aggressive and defend territories to attract males. A single female may mate with several males, each of which incubates a clutch of eggs she lays for him. So that's like one of a really weird example of where like the roles are completely reversed.
Well, you have like insects where once they mate, the female just immediately kills the male.
Yeah.
Like a praying mantis being the most famous example. Black widows do the same thing.
I was looking at species of isopods or lobsters or something, and that's the the female was like 3 times the size of the male. Just weird shit that biology can deviate into.
You don't really see this dimorphism though in something like fish. Like fish are kind of about all the same.
Yeah, with some exceptions like anglerfish. They're fucking weird.
Oh yeah. The blobfish.
I think people actually eat anglerfish in like Japan. Like they fish for them.
They eat a lot of weird shit in
I
Japan.
remember,
They eat jellyfish in Japan.
I remember when I was a little kid in Finding Nemo, like the anglerfish scene actually scared me as a kid. I was like 3.
Yeah, that was spooky, dude.
That's I mean that's an enemy type that pops up in video games too. Like water segments or freaky shit.
You're talking about that one fish that looks very demonic and has like that light bulb antenna on top of his forehead. I've always been fascinated with that, fish, like the deep sea creepy look. I used to draw a lot of pictures of that when I was a little boy. Go on.
Yeah, another weird fish is a goblin shark.
Goblin shark. Let me see what that looks like.
Have you guys ever seen the telescope fish before?
Oh man, it does look freaky. The telescope fish.
Yeah, look up the telescope fish. That's like one of the craziest ones. It looks almost human with its face.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
dude.
What the fuck is
That looks
this?
like my half sister.
Aw. Um.
This looks like some weird, like, hag witch version of like an Argonian in Skyrim.
Yeah, like its babies look creepy as fuck too. Like there's images with like their babies. It's like something about like the eyes that are like just like they look like pearls. It's like I think they only use their eyes for like light censoring or something, like sensing light or something. So like they don't have pupils or like the normal things you'd associate with eyes.
Like deep sea creatures, like their flesh is translucent, where you can just see their entire innards.
Yeah. There's also
baby fish kind of looks like a mutant version of a hammerhead shark.
a little bit.
Looks like an incel version of a hammerhead shark.
Yeah, did you guys know that there's actually such a thing as like a deep sea lake? Lake Baikal, I think. It's actually Lake Baikal is deep enough that it's actually as deep as the deep sea. And there's like similar like weird creatures down there that are only in that specific lake.
Yeah, that's what if it's like those black lakes of whatever, I forget what comprises them, but that's what those lakes in SpongeBob are supposed to be whenever they go to the beach. Lake
Yeah.
Lagoon or something.
Yeah, Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the only lake in the world that's like that goes that deep. And it's like there's a bunch of like unique species that are nowhere else in the world, kind of.
Yeah.
Dude, what's that fish in the Amazon that if you pee in the Amazon River, it can swim up your piss stream?
Kandiru or something like that.
I remember I had like nightmares about that because I saw that River Monsters episode.
Fucking
Dude, the Amazon
River,
is like,
dude, the Amazon River and the Congo River, like that's terrifying. Just imagining going down them at night because
Imagine you have to wade through it.
I had to like research the Congo River because I was writing a book about it, and it takes to go to like the heart of the Congo. It takes you literally like 2 weeks going down that fucking river, and you can't just take a normal boat. You gotta take a small little boat that can go over the shallows, and you're just surrounded by like bugs and weird scary shit. in the water and in the trees all the time. Not to mention, probably Congo's currently having like a civil war. You also got gangsters and whatever random shit in the jungle.
Yeah, it's the
I've
same with the
heard
Amazon
some.
River. There's like stories of like Western idiots going to like the Amazon River like by themselves and just trying to like solo like up the Amazon, and they wound up getting like hunted down by like cartel members and shit and like killed. I think there was a white woman that did that, and she got like
Well,
raped
if
and
the
killed.
cartels and gangs don't get you, the jungle will.
Yeah, I think crocodiles, they're like the most dangerous thing, right?
You got crocodiles, all kinds of diseases that you can get from insects. You got venomous snakes, jaguars, like
Probably parasites and shit in the water too.
Yeah,
Like,
water's like every if for whatever reason you drink the water, you're rolling the dice.
dude, I remember there's that story in World War II. It was in the Pacific where I forget which island it was, but America attacks the island and they're fighting the Japanese there, and they fight all day, and at nighttime the Japanese decide they're going to retreat to the other end of the island where their reinforcements are, and so they go through this like swamp on the island, and the American soldiers were able to surround it on three sides, so they had to go straight to the Japanese side, and 400 Japanese soldiers went in there and only 30 of them came out because the rest got eaten by crocodiles. Because the Americans would hear them in there yelling and shooting rifles at these crocodiles, and it killed almost all of them.
wasn't there something like that with the Japanese in like Myanmar, where they like had to cross a river really quickly, like the Japanese, because they were under attack by the British or something, and like when they were
Might have
trying to
been
cross, there
it.
was a bunch
It
of
was like
crocodile.
that might have been it. It was Myanmar, because it was like a
Yeah,
swampy area on that island just full of crocodiles. And then of course you have like the USS Indianapolis where a bunch of sailors got eaten by sharks.
yeah. I think with Myanmar, that was like where the Allies or the British and Americans were like sending a bunch of supplies to China to like resist Japan, right? So like the Japanese were trying to cut that off in by invading Myanmar, I think. Because Myanmar, that used to be a part of the British Raj too, like with India.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there was some kind of like mountain pass they were sending a bunch of equipment to the Republic of China through, and the Chinese were trying to like starve the ROC out.
Hollow, how long do you think you would last on North Sentinel Island then?
It depends how long it would take for like the tribal people to find me.
I mean, you'd be.
What if I gave you a M16,
Uh,
AK-47? How
How
long
much-
you last on North Sentinel?
Well, how much
I've
ammo?
never-
Because there's like 100 of those guys.
Okay, let's say you get like a loadout where you have like 10 magazines, so you have 300 rounds.
I'd probably just shoot myself, to be honest, after a certain point. Because like what am I gonna do? Like I have to get off the island somehow, but like these guys don't have boats, so like unless there's a rescue operation, then at some point they're just gonna like
Well, even then, we don't know how many Sentinelese are even on that island. Like they say about 100, but it's probably more.
You have to like
And even
wonder.
then, they know that island like the back of their hands. So.
You have to wonder what happened to them. Like they live next to India, so you have to wonder what happened to them that made them hate outsiders so much.
I
well,
think
it's well
they say,
documented.
Like, they're like a older type. They're like an even older type of hominid than Aboriginals are.
Yeah, the British did make contact with them, and they actually brought some back to the UK. But what happened is that they died of disease. Yeah, I think that was like one of the starting points of like why they don't like outsiders is because
Yeah,
like
there was
the
like
British would just like take them and then they'd just disappear forever.
well, there was like a European guy in the 1800s that did a bunch of experiments on them too, I think.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Also, just like our machines are like alien to them, so they don't know. Like it's kind of like coming across like a UFO almost.
But like Christian missionaries keep going there to try to give these people the gospel, and they just
Yeah, there is
get
this
shot
one.
with bows.
There's this one guy, one Hoppa, I think, from like Utah that went there and got attacked the first time, and then wrote on his journal, and then went back the second time, and they killed him.
I think it was like 3 times. So you got like some local fishermen take him there, like, dude, you don't want to go
Yeah,
there. And then he offered to pay him, and they took him there, and they didn't even get to the island. They saw him there, and the fishermen like, we're not going there. He's like, get
Oh,
closer.
do you guys know? I think it was a Rothschild, but there was like some bougie
That
like
was
Jew
in
guy.
Africa. Yeah, it was.
No, that was in Papua New Guinea. He got stranded
It was a
somehow in like
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller, yeah.
Yeah.
He got like stranded. I forget exactly what happened, but he got stranded in Papua New Guinea, and like I think that there was like stories of them like cannibalizing him, like the villagers
Oh,
apparently.
they still like have cannibals in Papua New Guinea. Like there's little videos from the 70s of them engaging in tribal warfare. They chuck spears at each other.
Yeah, like they eat people's brains too. They used to at least like as like a cultural tradition.
Get the human equivalent of mad cow disease.
Yeah, I think it shows up like some people they aren't affected for a while and others get like affected like soon afterwards or something and it's like called the laughing disease or something or that's like what the villagers knew it as and they didn't know what the fuck was causing it. But it's actually because they were like eating their relatives' brains after they died.
Well, that's kind of where like the idea of like the Wendigo comes from with the natives, because they realized that people engaged in cannibalism just went crazy from eating brains.
I think it's probably also well, Wendigos. I think that was attributed to. That's like a mystical thing they attributed to people just going crazy, becoming murderous. Not even just cannibalism, but just the cabin fever, whatever you want to call it, where you just start killing everyone around you.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a dog man in my area or something like that.
Why?
I keep hearing like strange sounds in the woods near me that is not. It's not a person. It's not obviously not a machine. It's not an animal I've ever heard before. Like it sounds like some sort of canine creature, but it's not like a dog or a coyote.
It's probably just some kind of like
And
weird
some
like
people
mating
report
call.
seeing
or something.
like these huge like fucking dog-like tracks that are like 6 to 8 feet strides.
I don't know, could be a big dog.
I mean, well,
Yeah, it's not
if
Bigfoot.
it's
It's
a
Big
6 to 8 foot stride, like that's 2 legs, dude. Unless that thing's like 50 feet tall and 4 legs.
Eh.
But I don't know. I think there's just like something in the area probably shouldn't be here.
No,
I mean,
fake.
like it's a cryptid, like it's a cryptic
Yeah,
type creature.
yeah. I think it might be something like a dog man, but I'm not sure.
Faith Blackpilled is going on in his Christian server right now about how his African long distance girlfriend is like accepting polygamy.
That
So
why?
wait, he's gonna have multiple. He's gonna have like an African harem.
Oh, I'm so jealous of him.
Yeah, I don't really understand. He like his server is called Warriors for Christ, so I don't know. I don't know, like
Oh,
maybe he's converting to like Mormonism or something. I don't know.
I mean, and people just make shit up like that. They will just. It's like MGTOW cowboy. You know, we gotta reconcile science to being prostitutes and become immortal. You know, people. That's how Mormonism pretty much started. It was just a guy bullshitting a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, didn't MGTOW Cowboy come into this community from Faith Blackpilled?
I know he came. I know his first appearance that I know of was on a Steve Hocus stream because Access Mail made first contact with him there.
Oh no, he came into that's right. He came into Wolf Slumber's server because of like Faith Gamer, he says, but that's the same person as Faith Blackpilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he says he wants to call into the next TW stream. If I'm on TW on that stream, I'm crashing out.
Oh, dude, you gotta go in there.
Yeah, I've got to get at him.
Man, everybody was
Everybody
taking
I mean,
has
they're
turns
their
at
already
him.
they're gonna be going at him already, but I mean, you gotta talk about like your PMC stuff.
Yeah, I gotta tell him about my PMC career in Africa.
Make sure you message Thomas White and them first so that they don't ruin it.
I think I already talked to. Nah, I'll talk to Thomas about it tomorrow, maybe. Because Thomas hearted that comment that MGTOW Cowboy left over there.
That's gonna be Kino.
It's just the most hateable position because we've all moved on. Like, you're gonna tell people to worship Andrew Tate.
But it's
Really?
like, these guys come in here, you can either say they're that retarded, or they're just here to derail.
I don't know. I think with him, I don't. I mean, it's part of it is the former that you mentioned that he's just like a moron. But I think another aspect of it is because he has like a YouTube channel. I think he's trying to grow that by like going on all kinds of different streams to like get a bigger audience. Like he wants people to go to his like MGTOW channel.
I want to see him and Scotty Boom Bloodsport. I bet even Scotty Boom would crash out on him.
Yeah, well, like Scotty Boom isn't like he's not like in an alignment with him for the most part. I don't think.
No, he's Scotty Boom comes off to me as more like Red Pill from like pre-COVID, but not necessarily MGTOW.
Yeah, I've only watched a couple of his videos because like they're too long. To be honest, and it's like with the long form content, if it's like a stream where there's multiple personalities like discussing things with each other, I'll watch. But if it's just like one person going on and on about like women or something, then I might watch like one of them, but it's not the type of content that really interests me.
I listen to it some at the wage cage just to have something on. But Scotty seems like an okay guy. I don't hate him. I don't know, have Craig Bloodsport MGTOW Cowboy.
Oh, do you guys think Dustin Clay is dead?
I mean, I don't think he'd wrote because I've heard He said before, like, he doesn't have the constitution to rope. He may have either just gotten his phone stolen or destroyed, or I don't know, maybe some fentanyl addict like shanked him over a rusty can of Vienna sausages or something.
Well, I think Dismal said, I forget where, but Dismal said one time that like he had to like talk him down from doing it like months ago. So like I don't know if he's like that. You know, it's something might have pushed him over the edge because he hasn't been on the internet in over a month now, and he was talking about like checking out in his last video that he uploaded. Um, it could be like I talked to Dismal about it. Dismal seems to think like he might have just lost or like broke his phone, like it might have gotten stolen or whatever, and like he doesn't have like a means to replace it. But like he hasn't communicated with Dismal either. So either something like that happened, or like he's probably like gone through with it.
Maybe he did, but I don't know. Like the rope stuff, it's like I need a. At some point, you kind of need like an obituary, maybe, because then you have people like Dark Cells, like, all right, everybody, I'm gonna rope now. Then he pops back up a month later.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, like I guess you could like try to like screenshot and like reverse image search his face or something to see if you could find an obituary somewhere. I don't know how accurate doing
Hopefully
that is.
Dustin Clay is okay.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, Dismal told me that he kind of hopes that he went through with it, but
I mean, his life wasn't great. It's just if that's what he did, that's his choice, you know.
yeah, I mean, like he was in a shitty situation, of course. 'Cause, like if he was just like taking a break from the internet, like I imagine he would have told somebody before he did that.
Yeah, or maybe like chat with people in the sphere here and there. At least like Dismal is really the social butterfly with these very dejected people.
Yeah, and apparently there's been nothing from him for like over a month, and he didn't say anything like that. So, um, it's a possibility, but
Well, unfortunately, I have to wage cage tomorrow, so yeah, I gotta hop
yeah,
off
I
now,
do too.
guys.
I have to get up in like 10 hours or so. I have like an 8.5 hour shift tomorrow, so
Well,
I'm gonna head out.
Now,
yeah, it was good
nice
talking
having
to
you
you
on.
guys.
Be on your movie review stream tomorrow. Celtic Cat.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Dax, and I'll see you, Wolf.
Take care.
Later.
See you.
Yeah, I don't mind having other people talk because there's not that much shit to talk about, honestly, even only streaming once a week. You can talk about how normies are cattle and everything's gonna get worse. I can get into it a lot more than most people, but still, it's just kind of the same shit over and over. But everyone else talks about the same shit over and over, except even dumber shit. How's the manifesto coming along? I don't even know when it'll ever be finished, because like it's just kind of a way for, it's just something I just add my thoughts to over and over and edit it, repolish it. It's still basically just exploring an insane idea as a way to that would also be the solution, and also a way to analyze society and teach somebody that the masses genuinely are fucking stupid and will ruin everything. I was trying to focus more on writing Space Pirates, the sequel, but hmm. Probably only go for another hour. The last stream was pretty good. I don't mind having a mid one. It's just, yeah, Manifesto's just a funny but absolutely true piece. I mean, the last stream, that was like 2.2 streams combined, so definitely can't do shit like that every week. For whatever reason, my bandwidth is really inconsistent all over the place. Just must be my dad fucking watching Fox News or something, playing casino games. But more than likely, it's probably something wrong with the actual infrastructure. Just throttling it. Just corrupt, shitty Rust Belt area. There's nothing I can do about it. I think. It's been doing it consistently too. It just randomly drops down to low and drops a bunch of frames. I have no fucking idea. I had to fuck with some of the settings so that the chat window works, and so I wasn't able to stream to 2 channels at once. It won't even let me stream if I don't use Twitch as the default. So if I want to stream on YouTube, I have to stream to Twitch also. What's the current topic? I mean, nothing right now. We're just talking about the fucking like animals, and Chuck Norris died. A meteor hit Ohio.
Did Chuck Norris really die? I thought that was bullshit.
He died.
Let me check the sources. Hold on.
Been talking about it all day.
Oh, he did die. He died in Hawaii, too. Alright.
Did you guys know his real name was Carlos?
Did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know until today. Apparently, he was named Carlos after their pastor.
I don't know too much Chuck Norris trivia because I didn't really care about him too much beyond the jokes. He was like 90 years old or something.
Okay, yeah, he died when he was like 86, so that makes sense. What's up, English?
Not much. What are you guys talking about?
Nothing really. Just had a Celtic cat and a Hollow and a bit of Hudson talking about animals and shit. Just letting them talk. Talking about monkeys and birds.
Yeah, I don't like monkeys. They're pretty scary.
That's what I was saying. I was like, that's fucking terrifying. Imagining having to deal with that shit at night. That's having to deal with a fucking baboon looking at you in the dark.
Yeah, I went to a Mexican restaurant a couple months ago, and there was a woman coming out of the restaurant as I was going in, and I thought she was carrying a dog, like a Chihuahua or something, and she turns around, and it was a monkey. Like, she just had this monkey sitting on her chest. It's freaky.
You know, the little monkey.
Yeah, I don't know what kind it was. It was like it was like a small, maybe a spider monkey. It had like lighter colored fur around its eyes and its face. The rest of it was dark. It was like had like black hair with like a light brown surrounding its eyes. And it was tiny, like the size of a chihuahua, but it was a monkey.
Yeah, the little ones. I mean, that is weird. I guess monkeys can. They got little monkeys in South America that also in the Yucatan. But this, like the big monkeys, they're fucking scary to look at. Smart, they can get anywhere, they will eat your ass. That's a whole another level of hell to deal with compared to just dealing with coyotes and shit.
Yeah, coyotes and dogs, they don't really scare me. I feel like if I just had any kind of decent weapon, I could fight them off. Like if I had a stick, I think I could handle any kind of dog.
If you have a steel-toed
But
boot, you can kick him in the face real easy.
right, cats would be a little bit harder. Cats are pretty scary, but yeah, monkeys are a lot scarier just because yeah, they're really smart. They're devious. Like you don't know what they're up to.
Yeah, I was describing how in India they're basically part of the locals. They just predate on people. They learn how humans act, and they'll just rob you or drag your dogs or your kids off to eat them. I mean, you said cats. I mean, I would be. We're talking big cats, because like, yeah, that's a cougar is real bad, and then if we're talking exotic, any of the exotic big cats, that's no, fuck that shit. I don't know which is worse between that or a big monkey.
I would think I'd rather have the big cat because the big cat they'll probably just bite your throat out and kill you real fast. But a big monkey, like it could rip your arms off and leave you alive for a while.
You can also open your door and walk in.
Right? Yeah, it could it can follow you wherever you go. Like a big cat, you could just lock it out. You'd be all right.
Yeah, just you turn a corner and you see like a big slumped over humanoid, like just standing in the hallway.
Yeah, it's the uncanny valley that the monkeys have. Like they're creepy on top of being
Yeah, that's fucking
capable of
scary.
violence.
Not gonna lie. Those animals are constantly a threat to you.
Like big cats, they're frightening, but they're not creepy. They're just like they're cool. Like it wouldn't be like getting killed by a lion or a tiger. It's like, yeah, that would suck and it would hurt. But I mean, at least you were killed by a peak predator. Whereas the monkey, it's like it's creepy and it's capable of killing you.
Yeah, it's bad enough being at the mercy of cattle people in social life, and now you got this like retard that can't talk and is weird. It's like standing over you after it like broke your bones. Like being a rancher in Africa, having to. I mean, if you're an African villager, I mean, you're just kind of screwed if the monkeys decide to start predating on you. You better have one of those concrete buildings, something modern.
Yeah, you need to have somebody on watch like 24/7.
Like that's an actual, like they're living in the actual cryptid bullshit. They do have fucking big monkeys coming in and snatching people. And then on top of the other shit. The Amazon and the Congo, that's like the two most nightmarish places on the planet.
Yeah, they have legit cryptids there. Did you see the cryptid video that Hyperborean Knowledge put out the other day?
No.
Or maybe it was today. Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Well, what was it about?
Well, he was suggesting that well, basically all these cryptids did exist, and they did predate upon humans at some point in our history, and we basically have like a genetic memory of fighting off these giants and like Neanderthals and like all these cryptids that were trying to kill us before.
Yeah, I mean the Gigantopithecus, whatever it was, the giant, the 20-foot tall monkey or whatever it was. That's pretty fucked up. Just trying to think about that.
Yeah, there's lots of stories of like giant skeletons that have been found. I don't know how real they are, but like some of them say they've been debunked or whatever, and like they just did their measurements wrong. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was like giants back in the days that were eating people. I mean, it's in all of our like fairy tales and stories and stuff. Like, it seems likely that they would have existed at some point in history, and humans just killed them off.
It's definitely a mixture of fun storytelling, but it definitely could have been getting predated on by scary shit like giant monkeys. Yeah. Plus, we do pretty much totally exterminate things that are very close to human, but not quite, like the Homo erectus and shit. Things that are almost human, those things get murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, I downloaded a couple of those movies you recommended last time I talked to you. I haven't had a chance to watch them all the way through, but I skimmed a couple. Like Rock and Roll. You said, I think it was you that said that one was good. And then the one about the post-apocalyptic wizards. I got that one. It looks pretty cool. I'll probably watch that one first.
Yeah, those are cool movies. Like, they got. You might not like a few things about them, and I'll probably agree with you on that. Heavy metal, again, I don't really care for the sex scenes, but I mean, it's still badass. Rock and Roll is just like, it's just really bizarre because it's kind of like watching a Goofy movie, the way that everybody looks, but it's like a gritty post-apocalypse where everybody turned into animal people. And the post-apocalyptic aspect pretty much has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. It's just the setting. Wizards, it's Ralph Bakshi. It's a Jewish director, animator. So I mean, there's gonna be some stuff that comes with the territory, but it's still good. That I thought.
Yeah, the art style, like when it comes to animated movies, the art style matters a lot for me as to whether I enjoy it or not. Like even just regarding the story and the plot and everything. Like if I don't like the way the art looks, it's really hard to get into. But the Wizards one, I did like the art style. I liked how everything looked, so I suspect I'll enjoy that one to some extent, regardless of the content, just because of the art style.
Oh yeah, it's just an entertaining movie. I like movies. I like media in general if it's for the premise and if it's going to be an enjoyable experience. Like, I want to. I want to sit down and watch some weird fantasy shit in an adult movie with weird juxtapositions with like Nazis in a post-apocalypse. Yeah, and it's pretty chill and it's cool to watch.
Yeah, I don't know what else Ralph Bakshi has done, but yeah, I'm not going to go into it holding the fact that he's Jewish against him. There's obviously a lot of good Jewish directors.
Well, he
and,
is. Yeah, he's cool. He's one of the cooler ones too. It's just he made a few movies where he's the Fritz the Cat. In that movie, a lot of that is the black people are getting shat on. The black people are all crows. But I also agree with that. I mean, they do get shat on, so it's not out of line. Like I could believe the police are corrupt and cracking black people's skulls, looking for an excuse to shoot them.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to Jewish directors, the thing that kind of irks me a lot is when they have like anti-white stuff slipped in that's not realistic or just doesn't need to be there. Like if they're just bashing whitey, like that kind of grinds my gears a little bit. But there's lots of good Jewish directors that don't do that. And yeah, just thinking of another like animation done by a Jewish director was Don Bluth's. I like Don Bluth's movies a lot. He has like a really dark kind of like, I don't want to say creepy, but like he just has like a very dark animation style, like art style. And he did the ones with the mice that like come to America, like Five Goes West, and a couple other ones with the mice. And it seems to me like that's clearly depicting a Jewish family like immigrating to America. So he's like telling a story from the Jewish perspective, and it's not necessarily like anything anti-white slipped in. So it's nice to be able to have a Jewish perspective without it being like hateful towards white people. So yeah, I can appreciate that when they're like that. But he's probably my favorite Jewish animation director is Don Bluth.
I haven't seen many of his movies. I know of them. I know like about All Dogs Go to Heaven, but I can't think of any movies that.
Well, we have The Land Before Time. Most everybody's seen that with the dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and that's a pretty dark movie for like a children's movie. I don't know how familiar you are with the Anglish project, but there's actually a lot of English type words in it where it's like compounds of simple English words like tree star and long neck and meat eaters, such like that, where it's like it takes like simple Anglo-Saxon words and makes longer compounds out of them. Yeah, so I kind of like that aspect of it as well. The made-up vocabulary for the Land Before Time. But he's also got a Secret of Nim. That's another one with some animal characters. That one was really good. Secret of Nim 2, I think there's a sequel.
Right.
What else has he done?
Yeah, I know about. I didn't know he made that one. And American Tail, that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah, there's American Tail and Five Goes West. That's a sequel to it.
Anastasia, okay, that's another.
Yeah, Anastasia. I mean, Anastasia's good on multiple levels. The animation was amazing. It has a really good soundtrack. The art style is just really good. I think one of the features of his art style, I think. I don't know if he personally invented it or if it was just popular at the time when he was making films, but he's got like this, it's 2D animated, but he's got like this special like glowing sparkle effect that shows up in scenes that have shiny objects in it. It's like this fuzzy, kind of dreamy, sparkly look to things,
I know what you mean.
which is it's like a really unique look that you didn't see in Disney movies, for example.
Yeah, that's like a core childhood memory is whenever movies would do shit like that.
Yeah, just like the opening of Secret of Nim, there's like a lot of sparkly looking, dreamy effect stuff, and yeah, you see it in Anastasia too. But yeah, he's a good Jewish animation director. So yeah, I don't know what all Bakshi's done, but
Bakshi,
I like the art style. So
Bakshi's kind of a mixed bag. He's very experimental. He's made a few movies that are really kind of bare bones. He has one movie, it's called something with the word coon in it, and it's just about black people. They look racist as shit. And but it's also from black people's perspective. How I guess just black people are getting shit on. There's this blonde, blue-eyed woman that represents America that stomps the shit out of them.
Oh, you're talking, you're fucking talking about Coonskin, that cartoon. I seen that.
That one, I wouldn't say it's great. I'm mostly just attracted to the America woman and how she crushes people's skulls. But,
yeah.
There's Hey Good Looking, which is it's not amazing, but it's about these greasers in New York City in the 60s. And New York City just looks like a shithole. It looks like a dark shithole, and there's no real... Bakshi, he has kind of meandering, more realistic plots that I enjoy, too. It's not really cinematic, and everything has to have this amazing meaning and theme. A lot of it's just like characters just kind of dicking around. Like they do it in Wizards a little bit too, and I enjoy that. Fritz the cat. It's Fritz the cat is whatever. It's a little degenerate, but it's interesting watching this cat go through a talking animal world, and it's just exploring like liberal culture and like black culture, and they run into like a neo-Nazi rabbit that's part of a siege cult that wants to blow up a power plant. It's not a movie that I particularly enjoy. It was interesting for a watch. I still prefer, Wizards and Hey Good Looking, I guess. Because those movies are just like really weird and cool looking.
you seen the animated Hobbit movie?
I have seen a lot of it. I have not watched the entirety of it.
That one has a good art style.
I think Bakshi actually made a Lord of the Rings movie animated. That's another thing he did, and that does have a dark art style on it. Which I think there's
Does it cover all three books, or is it just like one of them?
I think there's 2 Lord of the Rings movies. I have to be sure which one he made. I think. Do you know what I mean with the animated Lord of the Rings movie from like a long time ago, decades ago?
I'm not sure. I mean, the animated Hobbit I'm thinking of was like from the 70s.
Animated.
It's like 76 or something like that.
That might be. Is that also Bakshi? Hmm. No, I guess not. They just look very similar. Those movies are a bit weird. I don't know which one it is, but the orcs have a. They sing at one point. They sing like, "Where there's a whip, there's a way."
Yeah, I think I've seen that clip.
Because it's really stupid and doesn't make any. Like the orcs should not be singing, but it's also catchy. Like the orcs are all like stupid and goofy, and they get bullied by the men for some reason. I'm like, these are the orcs in Lord of the Rings that like mass rape and murder people.
Hey, Wolf, do you have any favorite animated films?
I have a couple of animes I like. Can you guys hear me all right? I'm talking on my.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I like some anime movies, but I don't really know if I'm gonna go out of my way to just watch cartoons or whatever on the internet. I wouldn't say I have a favorite.
What kind of anime movies? Like old ones or new ones?
Old ones. Old ones.
I mean, such as.
Lupin the Third, stuff from like, mainly Lupin the Third movies.
You ever seen Vampire Hunter D?
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
I literally just finished Vampire Hunter D.
The first one or
I
Blood?
watched both of them.
Yeah, those are solid movies. I love those fucking movies. I love it's like a post-apocalypse, just insane sci fantasy where the vampires are like the result of technology that the elites did a long time ago. Now they just kind of predate on humanity. That's why in the first movie, depending on the dub, they call the vampires nobles instead of vampires.
Yeah, the one I had called them nobles.
Okay.
Yeah, it does kind of bother me a lot, though. This theme that shows up in a lot of movies that depict nobility. It seems like they always depict it as bad. Like the nobles they're predators and they're bad, and then they'll have like a mixed character that's like mixed blood with the nobles.
All the time. I'm sorry for interrupting, but not all the time. I remember quite a few movies as a kid which portrayed nobles in a positive light, like kings and queens and princes and princesses.
Yeah, well, I'd definitely be interested in some counter examples. But yeah, it's a trope that shows up. I'm not saying it's 100% of the time, but in Vampire Hunter D, it did show up where the noble princess, she was like so proud of her noble blood, and then her dad tells her, or the guy who sired her or whatever, he tells her, like, oh, it turns out you're actually just a half blood, and she's like, what? No, it can't be true. and it's like, yeah. Then the main character, he's like a half blood too, and yeah, there's always like not always. I am interested in the exceptions, Wolf, but it's a trope that shows up where like nobility or like noble bloodlines are treated as not important or not justified. Like in Harry Potter, it's like all the villains are just like they're villains because they believe their bloodlines are better and that the Muggles are lower. But like it would make sense like logically that if there were a genetic cause to differing levels of moral upstandingness, like people who are more truthful, people who are more honest, people who are more generous or whatever, like you would think of like noble moral traits. If these are genetic, you would expect there to be a distribution, and some people be more genetically predisposed to having noble traits. So, like the concept of noble bloodlines to me seems like a legitimate concept that shouldn't necessarily be mocked or like torn down.
I feel like nobles should be mocked, but it does get muddied with these like liberal progressive ideas. Like genealogy, you know, probably has some impact on people's ability to be part of society, but like nobles nobles are like historically have been assholes. They're still, it's pretty much the same as now. Like they're just assholes who are like, I'm part of a noble bloodline, you're all like subhuman poor people. And I mean, this is the noble class that pretty much sells out your country and has all your people die in pointless wars.
But I don't consider that nobility, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who would be more just or more righteous, and not do those things, like the opposite of those things.
You mean noble
But,
as in like the meaning of, like the other meaning of the word noble, as in, you know, having
right,
good traits, not just
right, like yeah, like caretaking, seeking the health of your population, like uplifting people. Yeah, what you would think of as actually noble traits. I don't mean just like wealthy people. That's not what I mean by nobles.
Well, that's
But
that's why they are called nobles, pretty much, as wealthy people. Just, it's like why they're called elites now and shit. They're just, they pretty much had everybody call them that. Like, we're noble, you call us the good people, you call us the better people, but they're not.
right. But Wolf, what were the counter examples you were talking about? Like movies that depict nobility as having positive, wholesome traits rather than just taking advantage of their position of power and abusing people below them.
Well, there was always a villain in the character of the mobility, but like, really can't name everything on the top of my head that had that. But I just remember some glimpse from childhood, maybe Cinderella. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
I guess there are depictions of good nobility. It's just there is a trope of not depicting them that way. I'm trying to think of Cinderella, like the
I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm confused, but they just never really showed the king or queen as 100% evil in every case when they were showing, nobility.
I guess
in the case of Cinderella, yeah, I don't think the king or queen were shown as evil. Really, I mean, the villain was the stepmother, so it was like, it was really saying like step parents are evil. Watch out.
I guess Hercules is like Zeus is good, which doesn't fit the mythos, honestly. And then Hercules can be good because he has Zeus's genes.
Yeah, Hercules, he was good, and he actually embraced being good. Like he just wanted to like protect everybody from the monsters and like uplift everybody, and also he wanted to be excellent himself and like prove that he was worthy of his bloodline.
I can't. There's probably a good example, like, because it is a trope. Honestly, I feel like it's a trope that that culture eventually moved away from in the last like 20 years and before, or even 15 years. And then before that, nobility was just kind of the character being of a royal bloodline and stuff that just made them even better, and they had cool parents. That seems to be in Disney and general fantasy. Lord of the Rings is generally it's complicated. Like the elves have a lot of bullshit going on. There's an entire line of elves that are basically damned because they murdered other elves. It's the curse of Feanor. But other than that, the noble bloodlines are generally pretty upstanding. Oh well, the king of Gondor was a corrupt idiot. The king of what was the nomadic horse people? The guy with the fucking
The worm tongue.
Yeah, worm
Right.
tongue. The Israel and America analogy. Yeah, but he succumbed to corruption. He was down in the dumps, I guess, but he wasn't really evil. He was just deceived.
Yeah, he was deceived and redeemable. So, yeah, I guess Lord of the Rings breaks from it because they not only do they have good nobility, but they also have like bad nobility that's redeemable. So it's like it's not just treating it as like just like cartoonishly evil. People always abusing their authority, so forth.
It's realism in a fantasy setting, which I enjoy. I like. I think that's, if we're gonna explore like these crazy fictional scenarios, it's very interesting to have everything be treated completely seriously and realistically. Like different laws of physics, but things actually play how they would. Like it's not about is nobility good or bad. Well, I mean, sometimes it's good, a lot of times it's bad. You should be able to just simulating an entire world where nuance happens.
Yeah, well, it's like you're always talking about the cattle, like the churls, the peasants or whatever. When it comes to literal cattle farmers, though, you have some cattle farmers that are better than others. Like they treat their cattle better. The final product is higher quality. Like you have these Wagyu cows that are raised in Japan, and they like feed them fresh grass every day. They brush their hair 3 times a day, and they sit there and play games with them and like pet them and say nice things to them all day. They treat their cattle really well, and the final product is like delicious marbled meat that you can eat raw because it's so clean and healthy. And you compare that to like factory farming in the U.S. where they shove all the cows into inside in the dark and like feed them slop that's made from like other cow parts, and then the product that comes out of it is terrible. Like it tastes terrible. The meat is like gray and shriveled and doesn't look good or healthy, and and the cows themselves live far worse lives. So, like when it comes to nobility, if you think of them as like cattle herders, like they're there to manage the human cattle. Some of them could be far better than others in terms of the quality of cattle that they're raising.
Yeah, like you would need to delegate to a bunch of leaders to herd the other cattle because it's very tedious, honestly boring work, and you pretty much have to steer them away from things like the American mentality right now, where it probably still can't really comprehend society, but just give them these general principles to not exploit everybody, short-term gain, to get better at nurturing the herd.
Yeah, America's a disaster right now.
You know, you don't have to, you don't even, the economy is so vast and abstract, and you don't even have to care about what's happening with everybody else. You just have to worry about yourself and plundering, and it doesn't matter.
Hey, Wolf, Lupin means wolf, right? Is that why you like the Lupin anime?
No, I liked Lupin before I ever watched Wolf Slumbers. I was a fan of that anime since I was 15 years old. MTV2 used to play reruns of it on midnight. I had an anime app. I was a kid and I just watch it. I was like, oh, got into anime. Back into anime that way. I also liked Heat Guy J, Gatestein, and Berserk, stuff like that. Darker Than
Yeah,
Black.
my brother liked Berserk a lot, but he suggested I watch it, but I never did.
The 1997 anime is pretty damn good. It's speaking of nobility being depicted as evil and retarded and corrupt, I mean, yeah, Berserk does that, but I enjoy it. It's done in like a more realistic way. It's not written by like a Hollywood writer or like a Redditor trying to depict the nobility as evil. It's more realistically evil.
I think it's fine to depict nobility as evil. It just irks me that there's never the counter. Like, why? There's got to be like some example of good nobility. Like just to always depict like somebody who's supposedly the nobles as conniving, evil, and incestuous and like morally flawed to a degree is like every time is kind of annoying to me. Like I would like to see more of the counter example. Like Game of Thrones did this, where like I don't remember the name of the family, but they're like incestuous, and they have a incest child who's just like pure maniacally evil. And yeah, I mean, there were like incestuous noble families like the Habsburgs or whatever, but I don't think that was the majority of them. Like the majority of them went out of their way to arrange marriages, to trade like trade for marriages across the pond over in the other country and get their nobles breeding with each other. And like they weren't inbreeding, like they were intentionally outbreeding to some extent. So that's another one. It's like the incest trope with nobility.
Like, just based on what I've read about history and seeing what rich people generally act like, the entitlement and the scheming and all the shady shit they do, even on the local level or the national level, I think it is fair to depict it as mostly schemers and assholes where if they do anything good, it's more of like a coincidence, or it's more out of like they pretty much have to pretend to care about the peasantry if they do anything good. And then you can have like a few outliers, but it's like what would you run into if you met all the local rich people at the country club for a banquet? They would be mostly scum. Like they would be untrustworthy, shallow people.
Well, yeah, and in the modern Western environment, that's the case, but I don't think that's necessarily the case throughout all of human history. But also, poor people are just as evil. It's not like the rich people now are like less evil than a middle class person or a poor person. Like humans are just evil and behave like that at all levels. So it's not like it's not like there's any difference between like the people at your local country club that are conniving and scheming versus poor people who connive and scheme in different ways. But when I'm talking about the concept of nobility, I'm talking about somebody who's actually more morally upstanding in a given field than somebody else. So like somebody who's more capable of honesty or treating other people well. Like if you just look at parents, like some parents are better parents than other parents. Like some parents abuse their kids and treat them like shit, and don't feed them properly, don't give them nutrition and so forth. And then you have other parents who raise them very well to be capable of taking care of themselves. They give them enough nutrition and teach them how to survive in the world. Like just the difference between parents. That concept could be scaled up to the difference between rulers. Like you could have rulers that raise their population to be healthy and capable, and you could have rulers that raise their population to be abused, exploited, and incapable. So like clearly it's possible within the laws of physics for there to be the other way, you know?
Right, and of course, like the problem is whenever I talk about the cattle, like that's also a way to not have to distinguish between, class, because whether you're poor or rich, even doctors, like I consider most of them to be cattle people, where if you gave these poor people a lot of money, they would do the same thing as like all these evil rich people are doing. They just
that's the problem, is that the so-called elite people right now are not noble. they're
right.
they're actually just evil. They're just like peasants who have money.
Yeah, that's exactly what I say all the time. They're basically the cattle that got lucky. It's like what they say the Kali Yuga is supposed to be like. It's where the system's upside down, where the noble people are on the bottom, and like the slaves and undesirables and degenerates are ruling everything. Like slaves as in, not just literal slaves and poor people, but slaves to material and ideas. Like they haven't attained real freedom or self-determination or self-awareness.
Right. Well, hey, I got to get off here now, but it was good talking to you, Dags, and Wolf, I'll talk to you later.
Yep, good to have
Thank
you
you,
on
man.
later.
Yep, bye.
That's probably good, because I'll probably stop in like 6 minutes.
I'm currently cooking.
Cooking what?
Mac and cheese and 2 eggs.
Nice. I ate mac and cheese earlier today, and I can feel it going through my stomach. I was hoping I wasn't going to get diarrhea and have to go to the bathroom on stream.
Hmm.
I actually started this week. I was frying chicken breasts and baking them and then eating them with white rice with some sweet Thai sauce. It's actually really good. But it's not a poverty meal. Those chicken breasts cost way too goddamn much.
I thought chicken was supposed to be cheaper.
Yeah, but it was like $11 for 5 or 6 chicken breasts, and that's probably too much for me. A meal should be, I don't know, like $2.
Oh, I agree.
I guess, because I don't normally make beef or chicken. I was just looking around for cheap chicken that allegedly exists, and still, I don't know, it's more expensive than eating eggs. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's like, maybe you get more out of chicken. It's like, you put the chicken breast in a pan and you cover it in butter, salt, and pepper, and then you bake it in the oven. And then it's just good with white rice, apparently. Chat's talking about if poor people get money, they become terrible people. I mean, yeah, that's why. I mean, that's the story of the rich people that currently exist. They're just some lucky fucking animals, and now they're using their money for degenerate purposes and undermining society. And a lot of poor people blow it all on fucking drugs and crack whores.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that like money magnifies who you are. So, I mean, there's a case about this brat couple, I guess, that won $10 million through the Oregon lottery, and they ended up spending that money within 3 months, and they had to foreclose the house because they had parties endlessly every day. And it kind of like, once if you have $10 million, you go from the upper class. I thought like you learn how to behave yourself, but no, money directs you to like being able to drink more and buy more consumer products, get away with more things and do more fun things. That's pretty much what it is to some people.
Yeah, I mean, that just obviously pisses me off. People are fucking stupid. Can't stand seeing all the stupid people make money or get piles of money and waste it all. Over and over. Like if you have $3 million, you could stretch that out. You'll never work again. You don't even have to move to a third world country. You could just stay in America and live in the suburbs and just you'll be fine.
Yeah, and you cannot spend your life working away and feeling all achy and tired. You can do what you need to do and want to do whenever you want.
Yeah, which is ultimately what everyone wants to do, even though they lie about productivity and that everybody should be working. Everybody wants to avoid being a plumber or box stacker or having to take time out of your day to fucking pander to some retard. If everyone just admitted that working sucks, that would be one step towards life possibly getting better.
Yeah, the fact that you are not a machine and you don't really have to spend your entire existence just working a stupid job for a capitalist system that don't give a shit about you. Just to question everything is great. Why do I have to work my life away when I get no benefits or no future?
Guess we have to be surrounded by a bunch of retards that think they're gonna get invited to Epstein Island if they hustle and work a bit more.
So part of the problem is the normies themselves.
And yeah, they're only mad that they're not the ones that are rich and ruining society. They're mad that they're slaves. And they're mad that even if they have a little bit of money, that society is suffering from all this predation, free-for-all, aimless thievery. So you can't even have, like, a wife, family, community you like being part of. Everything still sucks to look at. All the media and everything. Everything costs too goddamn much.
Oh, and he says, what is Dags doing, bro? He's doing the dagger, what is that called? Yoga. Yogi. Yoga.
I don't know, I'm just trying different positions.
Dagger's yoga.
Cause I'm just sitting here not even using a keyboard or a mouse, so you can just turn around in your chair and shit. I need to figure out the fuck is wrong with this internet connection. Not affecting Discord at all. Probably just OBS.
Your stream tends to be a little bit late compared to the Discord. What's happening?
Well, that's not the.
It's like
That's normal. It's just the connection. It starts dropping a bunch of frames, installing.
damn. I finished that mac and cheese fast.
And mac and cheese is good. I can eat that shit real fast. Just hate the diarrhea later.
I don't really get diarrhea with it, but sometimes, I mean, I know what you're talking about, yeah. It might happen.
I don't know what the fuck they put in it sometimes. Some boxes are just bad, I guess. Just taking that chance, eating it every time, it might get diarrhea.
Chris says, ever since last year on October and November with the YouTube crash, YouTube hasn't been quite acting right. It could be your internet connection, not gonna lie, Chris, but honestly, YouTube has been kind of slow with me as well.
It was fine earlier today, I think, when I was just streaming a game. But I don't know what the problem is now. I'm also streaming to Twitch. I don't know if it's doing that on Twitch, because nobody who watches it on Twitch. I might just stop this, but then all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drink some water and play Skyrim for a couple hours.
Are you gonna stream it?
And yeah, just gonna mindlessly hit things with a hammer.
I'll join in.
Because otherwise I've been playing Space Station 13, Heretic, and Metro Exodus. Of course, working with people sucks, Lone Hiker, because people are shit and you want to minimize your exposure to cattle as much as possible. And most charities are scams, yes. Cars for Kids was a giant Zionist op for Goyim to pay for Jewish kids to migrate to Israel. Literally. I think it's a joke. There's giant, like, I had one online friend who worked in a charity in Switzerland, and he was just talking about how there's like these white collar guys who through nepotism got a desk job, getting paid 6 figures from the money the charity makes. Just sitting at a fucking desk doing nothing, being a retard. It's all a joke. You place your faith in anything in this shithole system, you're gonna get screwed over. Are we cattle? I'm not cattle.
I mean, technically, well, I guess you're not because you're not playing into the system. Is that correct?
Well, cattle's more of a mental, spiritual thing.
Okay, well, I know how corrupt the society is. I know I'm aware I'm a slave, so I guess I'm not necessarily cattle.
I mean, you know, if you talk to somebody who is, it's just, and I would just be describing a normie. Just retards that regurgitate things, don't care about anything. Some of them have money, so they care even less about things. Other people don't have money and they're insecure, and then they bully people just as much. They need to make other people feel like losers so that they can feel more real, and they have empty platitudes, and they'll wake up and on a whim of emotion they'll be like, I'm an electrician, everybody should be an electrician, you just gotta pull up your bootstraps, and then later that night they're suicidal and crying, and then wake up the next day like it never happened.
Yeah. Sounds like every boomer I ever worked with.
Fucking young people too, like just listening to normies gossip about who the pedophile in their group might be. Just spreading rumors about each other viciously for no fucking reason. Other than they're just cattle that get like that stimulation from the realization of undermining somebody's character so severely.
I really like the ambient noise in the background, man. You should send a link to where you're playing it.
Just look up ambient vaporwave.
Mm.
It's all... I just posted one in my music channel on Discord. This is all by Oh, there's a couple artists actually. Vapor waves and liminal stages.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm listening to now. Nice.
There's just like hundreds of these.
There are. I definitely put that one in my stream. Yeah, Vaporwave has really calmed me down over the years. It's definitely just a music that you can just chill out to and kind of collect your thoughts, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that it even exists. Like it's just trying to make you feel like you're in some digital void with just random shit like tiled floors and marble columns and shit. It's just the dissolution of modernity, pretty much. Because it's specifically for millennials and pretty much anybody who's just living on a computer. Just Vaporwave is like the death and dissolution of the consumerist technological culture. Like you're still listening to echoes of these video games and movies and songs and the internet. And it's all just slowed down and more reflective. Because, you know, you're just moving beyond these things. Now you're floating through a void of this shit, trying to find meaning in it. Pretty much what Vaporwave is about.
It does take you to a different world, like you can imagine yourself not in this reality anymore. Especially when you're feeling relaxed, you don't have to yeah, it's music that's not as human. It's like beyond human. It goes deep into the subconscious of your brain, man. I think it's torture to listen to all these pop songs every day at work. Wouldn't you agree? It's fucking torturous.
I mean, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to be forced to listen to music, period. Just. It's just pure hell. Sometimes I can listen to more active stuff with vocals, but I really need to be able to listen to just some reflective ambience.
Apparently, Chuck Norris kissed the wall. Chuck Norris, actor, one of Hollywood's strongest pro-Israel voices, dead at 86. Let's read. Cuck Norris is what they call him. The wall kissed Chuck. I mean, honestly, he was a cool dude. Let's not, we've all enjoyed Texas Walker Ranger and Chuck Norris movies and shit. What is that movie where he gets into a fight with Bruce Lee?
I don't know, but I feel like almost nobody's actually watched it. They just know about that scene. 'Cause he only shows up for like a minute.
I never knew his name was Carlos. He tricked us all with the name Chuck.
Chuck's better for a stage name, I guess.
He's shaking hands with Bruce Lee in heaven now. Wasn't he a Christian Zionist, though? Or maybe he just kept everything private?
I don't doubt it, but he wasn't very outspoken about whatever his politics were. Or if he was, nobody cared.
Opposing a war against Iran is woke, says the MAGA-tards.
Because most of the population's a bunch of retards that want to get invited to Epstein Island and think it'll happen if they keep hustling.
Zionists I tend to get into arguments with on Facebook, like who disagree with me, tend to have like cheap blue blocker sunglasses on, a big shitty beard, a cover photo that is supposed to tell us he is tough, like that Grim Reaper saying, you know, if you stomp the flag, I'll stomp your ass. America, God bless. And an ugly wife. Just showing that these retards haven't learned from the last several decades in the Middle East. I mean, come on.
They
What the
don't
hell's
care.
going on?
A year ago, they said Trump would end all wars. Now they love war. Said he would cut all spending. He hasn't. Increased spending. Pentagon's asking for another $200 billion for war with Iran. What happened to auditing the Pentagon to find out where the hundreds of billions went missing? They don't care. Normies don't care. They're all just cattle that think they're gonna be the slave owners.
I mean, pretty much they should rename this Operation Epstein Fury. Do you think Russia and Iran are winning?
Not really, but they seem to be able to drag it out. Like, it's possible they might not. They might maintain their government. America's right now just trying to bomb them selectively, surgically. Still blow up schools of little girls. They just want to destabilize it. They want to install Puppet, and they're hoping. They just Gonna keep bombing them. They've been bombing them and sending special forces in repeatedly. They say we don't have boots on the ground, but you know that they send in special forces, do shit long before any invasion happens. And retards support it. Retards eat it up because they don't care. They don't have any actual convictions or beliefs. They just, I have money because I'm a plumber. I make $21 an hour. So I can't be wrong about anything. And if I play my cards right, if I just keep grinding away, I could rape kids too, like Trump and Epstein.
Yeah, don't forget, you have people like Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin who are constantly starving for war so that Israel can expand its power. And of course, they want to use the United States military to accomplish this.
Yeah, and they want to cut your social programs and your income and your benefits.
Oh yeah, like, we must fight this war for them on their behalf. Anything less would be anti-Semitic.
The US government is under pressure to try to maintain the US dollar as the world reserve currency because we are headed toward hyperinflation. And you know what's funny about that? They have no intention of stopping the hyperinflation because the inflation is a product of a bunch of corrupt thieves. A bunch of corrupt thieves making billions of dollars. Trump ain't gonna stop inflation. He loves inflation. Inflation's good for investors. All the costs of society get passed on to the wage cucks. You can just buy gold, or you can just hold something that's not US dollars, and you'll be saving money, and all the expenses get passed on to the wage cucks who are forced to rely on fiat. Oh, and you know how much more the tax base is going to cover the debt? Because the debt's going to keep going up? Won't matter to Trump and his fucking bastards. They'll have so much money and it'll be tied up in shit that's not fiat. And all you cucks, all you little wage cucks are going to be grinding away, crying and eating plastic food. Oh, by the way, I went to... My dad bought me a burger, a quarter pounder from McDonald's, and it tasted literally like cardboard.
Oh god, yeah.
That's what these
What it
fucking
tasted
cattle are
last
eating.
time.
Cattle are eating literally cardboard.
Yeah.
You're all gonna be paying more for food that's not even food. And it's going to taste like cardboard. It's going to be made of plastic to an extent. It's going to be as inorganic and cheap as possible. The bare minimum to call it food. And it'll still be super fucking expensive.
Yeah. They just want to kill us slowly and expect us to pay for it. Yeah, I'm also beginning to think there are like 5 types of American politicians. There's the ones bought by Israel, there's the ones blackmailed by Israel, there's the dual citizens of Israel and the United States, dual citizens, and then there's the ones scared to death of Israel, and then the last but not least is the ones killed by Israel.
Well, Israel and that whole thing, that's just a club for rich people. Not all rich people are in it, but they do control way too much of society. And you're going to see a bunch of bannings on social media. And also all the states, courtesy of the Republicans, are passing hate speech laws to make it hate speech to criticize Israel at all. Republicans love it. Normies love it. Because they think that if they say how much they love it and that they have no problem with it, that pedophiles will reward them and make them rich too.
It's just evil people controlling evil people. They weren't so lucky. But man, the rich let the lower classes' lives and quality of life go to hell. And they don't care.
It's literally the perfect system where you can bribe the cattle with their own money and then make them work it off at interest. Well, at any rate, I went an extra 30 minutes. I'm gonna take a break and drink water.
Alright, man.
And then I might play a game unless I decide to fall asleep instead.
Are you gonna stream it?
Yeah, if I play a game, I always try to stream it, provided it works. Because there's still some fucking problems happening here. But I mean, people are listening to the streams, I assume it works enough. Whatever. It's whatever. Stream is still good. Talking to everybody. Good having you on, Wolf, along with everybody else.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.